We worked with about a dozen people who had Alzheimer's disease or mild cognitive impairment to essentially construct and document and produce a video, a structured video that you could click on and say, okay, I want to see this chapter of somebody's life and this chapter of somebody's life. For the most part, we didn't interview the people themselves. We went back to archive material, old photographs, slides, Super 8 film, old videotapes that could be found by family members, and these then were put together in a story. The story was developed in consultation with sort of a primary storyteller, which in most cases was a family member, but in 4 of the 6 cases of people with mild cognitive impairment, these were the individuals themselves. So it was not a biography, it was an autobiography. And our so-called multimedia biographers, there were 7 of them, they were all students, and 6 of them had no previous video experience. And they were able to get into this, work with the family members, develop the story. Sometimes there was controversy over what was the story, what actually had happened. And then over a period, it typically involved an investment of 100 to 150 hours of work on the part of our students, gathered the materials, decided on the script, and produced the biography using standard off-the-shelf nonlinear video editing tools, and then showed it to the client and family members in what was sort of a world premiere. It was typically half an hour, 45 minutes. It typically was structured according to chronology or themes that were interesting in your life, such as one of your hobbies or your children or your career in politics or something. And we found through observations and videotaping over 6 months after we finished producing this, that this not only stimulated reminiscence in the individuals who were experiencing memory difficulties, typically brought great joy to them, although occasionally moments of sadness where the video made reference to someone who had passed away. But the benefits were not only for the individual with Alzheimer's disease, but for family members who gained an appreciation of what their parent or grandparent had been like before Alzheimer's disease had struck and progressed. It provided a stimulus for very interesting family conversations, gathering around, looking at the videos, and also in the 2 of the 12 cases where people were in long-term care facilities, we showed it to caregivers, third-party caregivers, and all of a sudden they realized that this particular woman was not just one of 20 individuals with Alzheimer's disease, all of whom were women in their 80s, half of whom were Holocaust survivors, and she was in room number 17. But, it's the woman who had come from South Africa whose passion was lawn bowling. So this was a very interesting result.